Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I would encourage you or whoever share my info with. I would encourage you to Google me. I'm I am not. You can see my Google reviews and all of that, and I can text you. Oh, okay. Yeah, the best one is 717 571 0456. Yep. And I'll also share my contact info, like my contact card with your cell phone, and I'll also send that phone number because you had replied by email. I'll send it to you there as well. 717 571 0456. What's that? That's why I think it'd probably just easier if I text you it. This is your cell phone, right? Yeah. As soon as we hang up, I'll text you. It'll have my name, all of our phone numbers. It'll have my emails. It'll have our company, all of that good stuff. And I'm gonna make sure that you have that as well. I'm replying to the email. And that has all my contact info there. And who you said it would be? Who should I expect the call from? Your brother. Okay. Okay. Sure. Absolutely. Thank you. Stay safe in New York. All right. Had to call her, so I figured why not? I usually get feedback from folks that they like those calls. So let me just make good on getting her my contact card. And then we're going to get rolling here. Going to be a little bit of a shorter session this morning for a number of reasons. Snow, number one. Number two, the deal sprint, our first ever 3-day deal sprint, starts at noon, and I still have to do a little bit of preparing for that. And I want to give everybody time to get to it. So do I have my... Okay. So I am sharing. There was a little bit of a language barrier in that conversation for those who were listening in. And she is going to have her brother reach out to me. This was a cash offer request lead that came in over the weekend. Great chatting with you. My cell phone is... There we go. Okay. With that, let's get started with our regularly scheduled programming. The most underrated skill in life is to keep showing up even when you don't feel like it. I would say the only thing I would maybe tweak or improve is especially when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. That is several things I have found happens when you push through even when you don't feel like it. Number one, you are providing a positive feedback loop to yourself that you can persevere and persist even when it gets hard. And number two, oftentimes when you do, luck tends to come your way. In other words, opportunities or things that some people would say, you got lucky about, tend to reveal themselves to you. So keep showing up, keep doing the work, and especially when you don't feel like it. Game plan for today, weekend wins, Sharon's email reply. I'll explain what that means. And the big takeaway from that, how I post Google reviews from clients. I didn't even know what I put there, and my Zoom was in the way. And then the 3-day DealSprint challenge. So I'm going to mention that a couple of times. Our Founders Club members, you can participate for free. If you haven't already, many of you have already enrolled because I've seen and gotten emails. But you can log into LeadDeck and you can get enrolled in the DealSprint. The day one Zoom is at noon Eastern. The day one Zoom is at noon Eastern. I will outline the plan for the day one, what the goal is, what the actions are, and what you need to come back with on day two with, like what results will we have generated through those activities. If you're not a Founders Club member or have no idea what I'm talking about, if you go to leaddeck.ai/deals, leaddeck.ai/deals, that will kind of close the loop. I'm going to mix up. I don't know why I numbered them 1 to 4. I'm going to mix it up here. Okay. Because I'm actually going to go to number 2 because there's a lesson in it that was part of my weekend win. Okay. So one of the things that are on my one page plan for success, like my 1-page business plan. At the top of that, and I've built this out for some of you, are 9 habits, 9 like non-negotiable habits. One of them for me, business related. Okay, these are business habits. One of them for me is to be the daily activity or finding people who are engaging and sending them communication to see who's ready, willing, and able. And I have got a script that I follow. I tweaked it slightly here because I had sent her my sort of traditional one, which is, hey, Stuart, looks like you were checking out a property or 2 on the site recently, period. Any thoughts of making a move this winter or spring, ? I send that to people who are coming back and looking at properties. I had sent that to Sharon recently, so I mixed it up a little bit. I said, hope you're doing okay in this snow, right? So like I'm also weaving in the fact that like I'm acknowledging what's actually happening, so it feels less like a canned response or automated reply. Looks like you were checking out some homes on the site again recently. Any that I should send you more info about? She just said, yes, still looking. Didn't even really that's not really the answer to my question. Why am I sharing this? For those of you who have watched the workshop, the three simple steps, 1 closing a week, every week. In that, I make the analogy of the 3 different avatars that we embody as real estate agents: the shepherd, the farmer, and the fisherman. This activity is a farming activity. And I still, even though I most embody the fisherman, I still do shepherd and farming work. The thing I find most frustrating about those 2 buckets is I don't have any direct control over their motivation and timing. Now, I may think that I can manipulate or motivate them to change that, but the reality is I don't. And so I have no idea if or whenever Sharon will transact. I'll be there when she's ready, but if I was relying only on people like Sharon for my pipeline, I would have to have a ton of them. This is probably why the whole idea that business is a numbers game exists. Because if you're relying only on these types of potential clients, it really is a numbers game. You've got to put so many people in your pipeline in hopes that some small percentage of them at any one time are to the point where they are ready, willing, and able to make an offer on a property. Juxtapose that with fisherman activities. And I'll give you one example that weaves into my weekend win. Monday. Was it Monday? I don't know. A week ago. Sometime last week. I
using LeadDeck, pulled multifamily buyers for an off-market 10 unit that Eric on my local team brought me. He said he had been working with this the property owner for a while, and she had an agreement, and the buyer was technically out of contract and not performing. He hadn't provided an earnest money deposit or any evidence that he is working on the financing to actually purchase the property. So Eric said, let's go find the buyer. I pulled the multifamily buyers in LeadDeck, and there were not many. This is another one of those areas in my market that's not densely populated. And yet, from a very small data set, it was either 6 or 7, and I'm not doing a thing there for those of you that have kids. I only know that because I pulled 2 decks on Monday, 2 buyer decks on Monday. One had 6 people in it, one had 7. I think this one had 6. Doesn't matter. One of them, that morning, by text only, sent me his terms and asked me to write the contract. Now, I reached back out to Eric, and unfortunately for us, she has decided to give that current buyer a little more time to actually perform. So I had to backtrack a little bit. But in a matter of a morning, I had a buyer ready, willing, and able to write an offer on this 10 unit. So later in the week, Thursday or Friday, we decide, the buyer and I, let's just put this thing in writing, because all they have from us currently is a verbal offer. And so we put it in writing and we send it over, and we find out on Friday that the existing buyer actually brought his earnest money deposit, and she's going to give him more time. So my buyer says, well, what are those current terms? Because I'll beat them, whatever they are. So I told him what the current terms are, and he came back and drastically improved his offer in writing, which we have now presented. So I know at this point there is very low likelihood that that existing buyer will perform, and at some point we're going to get that deal. How does that relate to Sharon? Well, Casey, the buyer on this, all I needed to do was find him the thing that he is looking for, and he is ready, willing, and able to write an offer. It is another feather in the cap that if you have big transaction goals, in my experience and opinion, investors have to play a role in that for you to hit those numbers. If you're only relying on shepherding and farming, no matter how hard you try, you're going to have this fluctuation in your business month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year. It's virtually unavoidable. But when you have that component, and I'm not saying you should rely only on that audience, but for me, literally the minute I decided to pivot back to focusing more on that audience and doing business with them, which is where I got started in this business to begin with. I literally got my license so I could do deals, so I could represent investors on deals. That was like the thing I got licensed for. I invested a significant amount of money to license a marketing program to build my real estate practice around real estate investor clients. The minute I pivot back to that this past year in 2025 is when everything sort of took off like a rocket ship for me. And in large part because I have more direct control over how many opportunities are in my pipeline. So, all right. The one tactical strategy I wanted to share today was my process for posting Google reviews when I get them from clients. So I had 3 closed transactions. Yeah, I had 3 settlements last week, I think. And we have one today, which is happening like remotely. The notary is going to the buyer's house. The notary is going on the seller's house. And we have a post-settlement leaseback for a week So we could make that happen. Anyway, part of my post-settlement process is to do everything I can to get Google reviews from those clients, because I mean, in my opinion and experience, there's very little, or there's very few things that provide as much social proof as those, as Google reviews, or I mean, reviews of any kind. But let's face it, like, Google is, it's hard to debate that, and their process for vetting them, etc., is pretty thorough. It's also, we just let you under the hood, we have a Google business profile for LeadDeck for that same very reason, because we want to, and we have started to collect Google reviews from users, because the more proof we have that other people talking wonderfully about it, the more transactions, or the more confidence it gives others to take action. So I got this Google review. Let me find it here. On Saturday. I actually have two more that I need to reach out to. Okay. So this is an investor client that I found Ben using my Frankenstein together process prior to LeadDeck. So finding Ben was part of my inspiration, our inspiration for LeadDeck. But we closed the transaction. He said, Josh recently helped me purchase a foreclosed property. He did a great job locating the prospective property, diligently negotiating with the seller, and ultimately securing the deal. Josh was organized and easily accessible during the process. I would not hesitate to work with him again. So that was very nice. And then I edited Google. When you get a review, two things you should do. Number one, engage with the review, and you can heart it, you can, whatever. And there's there's 5 options. And then it would also have an AI generated reply that I think you should go through and put in your own words. They're not bad, but it wasn't quite how I would word it. So I edited the reply, and that's live as well. So that's great. That's on Google. People can find that. And I'm trying to get to 100. I'm getting closer. I'm at 91, I think. I'm going to get 100 of them. Anyway, all I have here is a screenshot. Okay, so what am I going to do with this? Because this is just a snapshot in time, but there are other things that I want to do to encourage people or remind people, like, hey, I'm in the business, and hey, I'm okay at this stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the image. I've shared this a number of times on these sessions, but I want to send signals to Google and Facebook, etc., where I'm going to share this, and Nextdoor this content. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the little I button down here, and I'm going to add a location, and I'm going to put I thought I was going to pin the actual address, but there's confusion. At one point it says it's Plainfield. In another spot it says it's Carlisle. So I'm just going to tag the general Plainfield area. Okay. So that's it's now geotagged. Then I'm going to add a caption. I'm going to caption it with my name, EXP Realty, Realtor, Real Estate Agent, Listing Agent, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Central PA, Cumberland County, investor friendly. I don't know. So I'm just keyword stuffing it. I honestly don't know how much of a big deal this makes, but it can't hurt anything. There's no way it makes this worse. So, and it costs nothing. So why not? So now that I've got my image edited, go back to sharing my screen here. We have a quiet group this morning, maybe because I just went right in to to getting down the business here. Okay, and then I'm gonna change the naming of this. Josh Shanley, EXP Realty, Google Review, Ben W. Plainfield, PA Foreclosure Property. Whatever, doesn't really matter that much. And then I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna open up Facebook. I'm gonna open Nextdoor, and I'm gonna open Google because I'm gonna post them on all of those feeds, or all of those platforms. And I'm going to start with Facebook. And I'm going to switch to my local business page. And we're going to grab the image. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to, first and foremost, I'm going to add some emojis at the top. Now I use the emoji keyboard, keyboard, Google Chrome extension. You can do it. I forget what you have to hit on a Mac to pull up. It will pull up the emoji keyboard. And I think even if you right click, it'll pull it up, but whatever. This is kind of like my default way of doing it. So I've got that. I'm going to add the 5-star review. And then I'm actually going to try to bring up the reviews here because I want to copy. Ben's actual words. I don't know why it wouldn't come up that way, but it seems to be coming up this way. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in quotes. Ben W, because that's what it says. I don't want to, like, if this had his full name, I would put that. Like, I did this last week. I think I did this Saturday morning, actually. And Angela, I didn't know she went by Jella. She never told me. She told me Angie, but whatever. Maybe she was changing her identity. I don't know. Anyway, I'll put whatever there. Like when I shared this one, it was too much information. Okay. Thinking about buying, selling, or investing here in Central PA, or maybe you know someone who might be. Let's chat! Exclamation point. And then I'm going to put, this is, for me, this is kind of like my my own version of Linktree, right? So just making it easy for someone to connect with me. If you don't have something like this, it doesn't matter. Like just say let's chat and then put below what I'm going to put now, which is my full signature. I'm going to put this here and then hashtags. So I'll hashtag myself. I'll hashtag sell my home. I'll hashtag, even though I was the buyer's agent on this, I want to be the listing agent more often. I mean, I don't have any problem repping investor buyers, but I don't want, I don't necessarily love working with first-time home buyers, let's say. Realtor, realty, real estate agent, Central PA, and Carlisle, PA. That's where the property was. Real estate investing. I'm just going to do real estate. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go next, and I'm going to post it. While that's posting, I'm going to head on over to Nextdoor. And I'm going to literally just do the exact same thing. I'm going to add a pin. Plainfield, Carlisle, PA. And I'm going to post that there. And then I'm going to go to my Google business profile. I'm going to add a post there. Choose the image. My call to action button, I'm going to hit the button, is just going to be call now. I'm going to paste this in, but then I got to get rid of a bunch of stuff here. Let's chat. Just tap call now below. I'm not going to schedule it. I'm just going to post it. And then, whoops, dang it. I didn't actually hit post. Oh, wait, I did. That was to cross post. I don't know why that shows up there. Somehow or another, I'm linked to her. I don't know how, but somehow I got linked to her Facebook page. So, last thing I'm going to do, now I'm going to flip over. I've just found that this is easier and faster to do this here on your mobile device. So I'm going to switch over. Okay, I'm on my Facebook page. This is me acting on my page. I'm going to share that to my story because stories get eyeballs. Do that. And then
Josh, go to stories on your business page, or does that post it onto your personal?
So the way what I just did, that's posting it onto my business page because I'm using Facebook as my business page, but I'm also going to share it onto my personal story. That's next. But hello, this is Josh. Hello, this is Josh. I got to honor my rules, my 9 habits. One of them is answer your dang phone. So that is currently, so I'm using, this is my business page, my local business page. And that's where that was posted. So I'm going to switch back to my personal profile. Okay, so now I'm using my personal profile. And I'm going to pull up my business page so that I can find that post and share it on my personal profile. Now, when I'm doing this same process to, for example, promote a new listing or a coming soon listing or whatever, so I'm just going to hit share and I'm going to do my story. In those scenarios, I will then also share it into groups, etc. I'm not going to share this. That is just asking for me to get nasty comments. If I share that into the Carlisle garage swap whatever thing, like I'm just asking for people to troll me in the comments. Okay, but again, I will do that if I'm promoting my listing, whether it's coming soon or just listed, or the one that we're going to make a price correction, price improvement on this week, the townhome, my buddy's townhome. When I promote that, and I'll do that on the cafe here on Thursday, when I promote that, I will absolutely share it into groups, etc. And there are some other things I'm going to do to kind of refresh it, even though it's not even been listed. It's been listed. It's been active now for 11 days, maybe. The problem is, a couple of those days was this, and I thought we should have started at 375. He wanted to start at 384.9. Now we're coming down to 375. My guess is we'll have it sold within a week of dropping it to 375, but time will tell. And obviously, I'm hoping. And hopefully we don't get more snow this weekend, which currently it does look like we're getting more snow this weekend. Hopefully not like this, but time will tell. That was what I had lined up to share, but I've got a little bit of time that I've got more time than I expected. So if anybody has any questions or anything that they've been working on or would like help with, I would love to at least spend a couple of minutes on that stuff.
I got another Facebook question for you.
Sure.
So I do what you just did, from my personal page, go out and search, find my business page and share over. But I've never been able to figure out if you just share to your stories, does it also put it in your timeline on your personal page, or have you got to put it there first and then go and share it up to stories?
You're saying the post is on your, actually here, let me actually show it. Yeah. So the post is on my business page and I'm not tagged. See, if I had tagged myself, this actually would have been good. I should have done this. If when I made the post, I was showing my laptop. If when I made the post, actually, let me show this. Okay, so I'm still logged in to Facebook as my business page right now. If I go and edit this post, if I had, see the tag people, if I had tagged myself, then, whoops, why can't I tag me? There. If I tag myself, I think then it shows up on your tag on your timeline. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how quickly that would happen. If I had not done that, or you don't do that, let me find it again here. So again, I'm on my phone. I am using Facebook as me, my personal profile. And I didn't tag myself, but I want to share that to my timeline. Instead of when I hit the share button, let me find it. When I hit the share button, instead of choosing story, okay, if I just share now, which I could add something, but if I just share now, that's putting it on my timeline. It's putting it on my, look, it's putting it on my feed and public.
Okay, and that's what I do. And then when it shows up on the personal page, and then I'll go in and share up to the stories. So it's like a 3-step process.
Okay.
So,
I have found that sometimes I can't share to my story if I do it that way. That's interesting.
I haven't done it a ton, obviously. That's why I'm kind of confused, but trying to make it simpler. Yeah. I'll do just what
Either way, I mean, we're talking about seconds of activity, but if you're, I would much rather share stuff like that, which is other people talking about how great I am, than me talking about how great. I mean, that's the bigger lesson. So when you can do that kind of stuff, however you do it, the more eyeballs, the better. I should probably post that kind of stuff on LinkedIn too. I haven't done that. Why would I not do that?
So, Josh,
That's silly. Here, I'm gonna.
High level post all that stuff automatically to our business. So LinkedIn.
But it doesn't post. It doesn't post what I did.
True. Yeah. All the keyword stuffing.
Yeah. You kind of have to marry, like, you got to marry effective and efficient with that. Meaning, like, automated stuff is never going to get you as much traction, reach, etc., than manually doing it. And also, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't, like, there's a time and a place for either one, I guess.
What I've been doing, it goes to my business profiles, and then I go share it to my personal. I hadn't thought, I need to be doing that to Nextdoor too, so I'm gonna loop that in too.
Nextdoor can be, I don't know. There can be a lot of Karens there. Okay. And also, like, I've gotten business for free from Nextdoor. I've tried their ads too. Nothing positive to speak of from that, but I've absolutely gotten business from organic posting content like what I just shared. Number one, posting, sharing listings, coming soon, etc. Number 2. And number 3, stories of transactions. So that was a review. He kind of told a story. I'm talking about opening up ChatGPT and telling the full story of a client. And rather than, since we have the time, I'm probably going to finish on this. Rather than me, I'll just show you an example rather than me try and paint a picture of what I'm talking about. Let me find.
I was, for about 5 years, I was one of our local next door leads. Unless it's different here, but I don't think, but technically, realtors aren't supposed to post individual listings. You can post an open house because it's an event. Yeah. And the homeowner, I actually had this conversation with Nextdoor specifically because people would report things. I wasn't sure how to vote, whether to remove or keep. So I asked them.
How did you get put into such a role? How did you get such a role?
One of my neighbors was one, and she said, "You'd be good at this." So I said, "All right, I'll do it." So yeah. So for about 5 years, I was one of those guys voting to keep, and you're selling your puppy for $2,000. That's against the rules, removed.
Well, whatever. That's interesting.
Doing houses because I'd see them and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Store said, no, but the homeowner themselves can post it. The real estate agents.
I mean, that's a strategy too, right? That is interesting, and that is probably more effective if you can get your homeowner to actually post, like give them what to post and show them how to post it on Nextdoor if they never have. I would see that potentially being more effective. But then I just don't like giving up control. I'm just like, will you actually post it? When are you going to post it? And I don't want to be like nagging them. Hey, did you post it yet? Anyway, here's an example of a story. I'm not doing this enough because as I see this, the last time I did it was more than a month ago. But this is the story of a client that we helped sell his house. It started, again, I got Jerry through my Frankenstein together process prior to building LeadDeck that we've made literally exponentially easier. Like we literally took a bunch of things and we just removed all of the bottlenecks and just made it that you can tap a couple of buttons and be on your way. I reached out to Jerry. Hey, Jerry, would you consider selling your property at street address to a private client of mine, parentheses, he's looking to buy a ranch home for his mom. That's where the conversation started. Back and forth. Brought him a cash offer at 123. He was going to take it, but I knew his situation. And so I said, Jerry, I know what's going on here. You don't have to take this offer. Give me a couple of weeks and we can get you a better offer. And we did. We used my 7-day stress-free home sale. And we sold it for $29,000 more. Now that wasn't a full $29,000 net more, but it was still like a lot more net to him, like north of $20,000 more net. Like that's a lot of money, like a lot of money. Anyway, and all I did was I think I told the story to ChatGPT and it spit this out, and then I went and edited it, and I got some comments that I was trying to decide, do I delete the comment or do I just delete the post? And I just let it there. And then a guy puts in the comments, I'm not going to show it because it's got his cell phone, but he puts in the comments, I only want to talk to Josh. Call me at this number. And I called him, and he's an investor developer guy, and he saved in my phone, and we haven't done a deal yet, but we will. And he was specifically wanted me to call him to see if I could sell one of his properties off market. And I used that as bait to connect with more buyers, which is a perfect jumping off point. This is what I'm going to wrap on. 3-day DealSprint starts today at noon. If you're in the Founders Club, you can participate. It's included with your club membership. If you're not, you can go to leaddeck.ai/deals, leaddeck.ai/deals. The intent of the sprint is we're going to each day go through each step of the blueprint. Day 1, find a deal to use as bait. Day 2, use that deal to connect with more active buyers. Day 3, we're making offers. Either we're making offers to on-market properties or off-market properties, or we're making offers to home sellers. In that case, the offer is, let me help you sell it because we've got a better solution than these other options. And it's our first one. I'm pretty excited. And one of the reasons I have to go is I have to organize some last minute things to make sure that we all can make the best of the time together. So I will be, Closers Cafe will be back tomorrow as well. And all week except for Friday, Monday through Thursday. Same time, same place. Also, I'll say abbreviated, but I mean, I'm still 40 minutes, right? So like this week, there'll probably be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe 60 minutes, depending on the day. And I look forward to seeing those of you who are participating in the 3-day deal sprint in just under 2 hours. And if you're not, there still is a little bit of time left to enroll and participate in the deal sprint. LeadDeck.ai/deals. LeadDeck, LeadDeck.ai/DEALS. Let's make it a great week, everybody.
Josh, are we going to get, I saw some of the emails this morning. Is there going to be a Zoom link for that, or do we log in through our LeadDeck platform?
So the Zoom link, so this concerns me. What is not getting through? The Zoom link was in 3 emails in the last 2 days sent directly to founders. Are Sean's emails landing in spam? What's that?
The way I read them, it's like, if you have
So you're probably not getting that means you're not getting Sean's Founders Club updates, which probably means they're going to your spam, and we need to fix that. I mean, some of that can be helped by the recipients, but we got to tell them to go and find it and mark it as not spam. But it almost has to be because.
I didn't get the Zoom links either. I thought,
Okay, can you I'm glad you guys are speaking up. Can you go see in your spam if you've got an email from Sean? I'm pretty sure.
I did get it.
Okay, so he has sent multiple times an email with the Zoom link for noon, and I don't want to share it here because for obvious reasons. But Stuart and Terrell, can you check if it's in your spam?
Yeah, I've got one from Sean at 8:24 this morning.
Yep.
3-day deal. If you're not registered, here's the link. Blah blah blah. All calls will be recorded. An email went out from the system with the wrong mod. 0 deal finder. Plot.
There is a Zoom link in that, right?
There's the correct link.
Was that register link for Zoom?
Okay.
Because that's what I did. I clicked the register link and it took me to Zoom and then it added it to my calendar.
Oh wait, so was it the actual Zoom link or was it says register? I thought he sent an email that had the actual Zoom link.
John, it is a Zoom link to register.